or maybe we won't connect.
Hello.
Oh, hello, there you are. Hi, how are you? People have just been like saying, is Mika coming? Is Mika coming? And I was like, I have no idea. I have no idea. And as soon as I said that, your name popped up on the screen.
I wouldn't miss it. How can I
Oh,
miss it? Hello, everybody. Hello, Deb, and well, happy 15-year-old birthday. A full
thank you.
adolescent Mika fan club.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, like in complete like dysfunction phase. The skateboards are out. Cigarettes are being tried.
Hormones are
Homework's
raging. Yeah.
hormones raging, cigarettes are being tried, and everyone's kind of like misbehaving, and we're trying to figure out how to, become adults. Isn't this the best possible description of what's happening right now with MFC?
I, yes. Well, 15 is good though. 15's okay. I mean, just thinking back, 13 was awful. 14 was not great, but 15 was good. So
Why was
so
14
15
awful
should
for
be.
you?
Why? Just, teenage girl, just
Ah,
trying to figure out who I was and, you
just I
know.
don't really remember any difference between any of that period. It was all just a giant mess.
Yeah. Well, like I said, by 15 I started to figure out that I was not fitting in with, all the cool kids, and I was starting to get okay with that. So it was all right. 13 and 14
School
though.
school is the toughest thing
Yes.
during your teenage years. I mean, at least it was for us, right? It was for you, it was
Right.
for me. I mean, God, it really sucked. It
Yes.
was really terrible. I mean, can we
Yes.
just be honest?
Yes.
So, but that's,
Yes.
then again, there was always that's why music became more important. So, you know,
True.
and that's
True.
that's
And,
part
and
of
that's
it.
absolutely true because that's pretty much what saved me was music. So, yeah.
So we have people from where today, Deb?
Well, let's
Fill
see.
me
As
in
so
for
many
this
people have
15-year
been scrolling
anniversary.
by. So, yes, Netherlands,
Switzerland, I
Argentina,
see.
Mexico, France, obviously,
I Could
Italy.
Never Be a Dancer is here. That means that
Oh,
Olivier
wow.
Casamayu, the amazing choreographer who has done loads of projects with me, is here. Salut Olivier.
They're following you. Yeah. Let's see who
Ah,
else. There's people from Canada. There's
Frozen,
people from,
apparently in Canada. People frozen in Canada.
yes,
I'm surprised you can
yeah,
type.
yes,
Hugs from Poland. Hello,
yep.
Poland. From
Poland,
Finland,
Finland,
of course.
yep.
From
Spain,
Iowa.
yes,
From,
Iowa, yeah.
from
So, just
Netherlands,
it's a
France,
usual Wednesday.
Italy, Los Angeles. Ja 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 Hello is what Olivier Casamayu is writing. Always erudite.
Yes. Look, Austria. I always say ja 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 in my
Côte
head, but
d'Ivoire. Ah,
Cote d'Ivoire.
Emma's here. Emma Marone is watching us.
Ah,
Ciao, Emma.
ciao, Emma. Oh, wow. I
Emma
could
is
bring
here,
I
and
could bring her into the conversation if she wants to join.
se vuoi venire a salutarmi, noi stiamo festeggiando i 15 anni di Mika Fan Club. Sarebbe un grandissimo piacere, però se stai sul palco o sul... She's filming a movie actually right now,
Ah, okay.
so she's probably not gonna pop in.
Well, I'm just saying it's an option. I have the technology. I've
And Olivier is
figured
in Mexico,
there's
behaving
people. Yeah,
behaving
people in
well, I hope, probably badly.
and somebody from South Africa.
Ah, no, wait. Emma says call me. Okay, so how do we say call me? Emma, devi mandare, no, tu una richiesta di essere messa dentro. Or you need to get Emma, invite
I
Emma in.
I can
This
invite
is
her in.
this is your chat, baby. It's not mine.
There she is. Um, it's not allow. Wait, why? It's not allowing me. Hold on. I'll try one more time.
See, somebody's freaking out about the Father Christmas behind me. Yeah, so
It
I'm
won't let
home.
me.
Oh,
It won't let me. It says Remove
Just
from live.
reply to Rio Brown.
Hmm. I'll look again.
Mm,
Let me try again.
I don't know how to. Yo,
I'm sorry.
¿por qué?
I'm sorry. I
Uh,
can't. I can't. I want to, but I can't. It won't let me for some reason.
are we allowed to have three people on one of these
We
things?
should, yeah.
Yeah.
I could do it,
Well,
but not, it won't let me with her for whatever reason. Maybe I don't know. Maybe she's got her settings. I don't know.
so I'm
So,
home, and
oh,
today is the Epiphany. Well, it's
yes.
the night before
Well,
the Epiphany, which is the King's
right,
Day, which is tomorrow.
right.
So that's why we still have the Christmas tree up.
Ah, okay.
Abbiamo l'albero di Natale perché comunque prima del 7, dell'8 non lo togliamo l'8. Would you like to see my Christmas tree?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah,
1 second.
up
I will
close.
show you. I will show you my Christmas tree. So it looks like that. Wait, how do I do this actually? Wait, 1 sec. There.
There. Perfect. Oh, wow. It's huge.
It's very big.
It's huge. Is it a live tree?
No,
Oh,
we're in Miami and big live trees. We've had this same tree for like 7 years. So
okay.
it's better.
Okay.
Better not to have a real tree, I think. And and actually all the ornaments are from different countries wherever I've been. So this is from Paris. This is from Prague. This is from Hungary.
Wow.
And over the past like 15 years, actually, pretty much, I've
Mhm.
been collecting 15, 16 years. This is from Italy.
Ah, Pinocchio.
And they all tell these kind of different stories. I like this guy. But the best thing about them are these crazy mushrooms, you know? And like this one. This one's nice.
Very Alice
Anyway,
in
there you go.
Wonderland.
It's extremely psychedelic, and I wouldn't want to be someone taking hallucinogenic drugs looking at this tree because it probably would start talking to you.
And is
There you go.
ah, yes. I
And
wondered if you were still in Miami. You've had a nice long stay.
oh, I'm
Maybe
working. I'm
you're
working. I'm
working.
finally home. I mean, the nice thing is that I've been able to come home, and this house. When I got this house like 12 years ago, it was untouched, and it's from the 1920s, and it was basically falling into the ground. And so many of these homes from the 20s got destroyed because they're just too difficult to restore, and it wasn't even protected or listed.
Mm,
So we saved it. Took 4 years to save, and to rebuild all the foundations before we could even do anything decorative. And then the whole thing was basically a project done between my mom, me, and my sister. And that's why everything you see is stuff that we made or that we painted in the walls, and we wanted to make it feel romantic, feel like another world, not this kind of modern um, or overly cold version
hmm.
of Miami, something more romantic like it was in the 20s. Because all of this stuff is original, all the curved arches. It's funny because the guy who owned this house, he was known as the Moor of Miami Beach, and he was Jewish, and he, however, was obsessed with the Middle East, and he used to wear a dish dash, this kind of
Okay.
white robe, and people thought he was so eccentric, and he would walk around Miami Beach wearing a white Arab robe, even though he was Jewish. And the amazing thing about this is that since 1926, this house has had three owners, and I'm the third.
That's
So
really cool.
it's nice to be home finally. I haven't been able to come back as much as I wanted to because every time I would do a production or I would do something, I wouldn't be allowed to travel because of all the COVID stuff. So
Right.
it's good to be home. It's good to be working from here. And so much, pretty much the entire last album, 80% of it was written in a little room here. Nowadays, all you need to make an album is a piano and a laptop and a
Right.
keyboard and a good
Yeah.
microphone, and then you're done. and that's just changed everything. So I thought I would fill you in a little bit on the new music.
Yay! I would ask, but I know that I'm always reluctant to ask things that I'm pretty sure you're not going to want to answer. So, but I want to
So,
know. So yes,
okay.
please.
So the new music is quite, it's quite different. It's very different to the last album. The last album was born out of a journey that was quite a joyful and painful one. It was extremely kind of I don't know. It was reacting to things that were going on in my life and in my family's life, and that's the way that albums should be. It wasn't. I didn't expect it to be like that, and it turned
Mm-hmm.
into that. And there's something about these new songs where there's definitely this kind of very playful uh, devil's wink that's come back in a very strong way. It's and the melodies are extremely, it's shamelessly melodic and shamelessly playful. And I think it's also part of my response to the fact that with streaming and with the way that music is distributed nowadays, you have to be yourself. You have to not give a shit about what people contextualize you as an artist. You have to be faithful and truthful to your own artistic values, and be as unique as possible,
Mm.
and let your colors really be strong. And I think having traveled this quite a painful period, it's so freeing now to just let that happen and to not overthink things, to not overproduce.
Mm-hmm.
And weirdly, that first gesture that you have when you're writing is actually sometimes the most complex and sophisticated one and the most poetic one. And letting it stay like that. Very few writers, pretty much the entire thing is written with one person who's sitting at a piano and doesn't even write at a single word.
Hmm.
And that's also very strong because it means that I'm really getting back into that zone of just writing like I draw instinctively. Charming, sometimes refined, and often imperfect. But that instinctive thing and that idea that each song is just a gesture and doesn't have to be a completely over tortured, elaborated thing and
Mm-hmm.
overproduced is really fundamental in this new collection of work.
Wow. Do you don't you find a lot of times that the first thing that you write or the first thing that you say, even if you change things and revise, you often come back to that first thing, that's often,
Well,
I don't
yes,
know,
yes and no. I mean, I've also, I think going through different, you do, if the starting point is the right one, and if you're surrounded by the right people, because even the engineer in the room counts. You know,
hmm.
the way when you just dump a vocal down and it's a demo, that performance is never going to be the same again, ever. So you better make sure it's right. So
Hmm.
yes, you're right. That first thing that you do is correct, but you have to you have to make sure that everything is right so that when it does happen, it's good enough to keep. And
Hmm.
that goes even for non-technical things like lyrics, or and you have to make sure that you finish that gesture, that you
Hmm.
really do push yourself to write that song and finish it within those couple of hours so that you stay in that bubble.
Hmm.
And also I think that I've had times in my life where I've been so lucky to work with people that were really good people. And I think now looking back, I actually unfortunately had a lot of experiences working with people that were really not good people.
Hmm.
And the human side of it is really important. And I've decided that I want to work with good human beings and and really do what I love and build up a career that is based upon this idea of creativity. So it doesn't matter whether it's music for a movie or whether it's a movie or whether it's an exhibition or whether it's an album, that it's all part of a creative expression, and it all has value.
Wow. Well, I know, having followed you for 15 years, and not everything has been music, and there have been times when it's been like, why is he not doing music, But then I I have come to understand that you need to have other ways to express yourself, and that I think a lot of times the other stuff recharges you and makes you better able to do more and and be creative, because you're not
It's about
pigeonholing yourself.
yes, yes, in a way that's part of it, and
Mm-hmm.
in another way, it's also about making sure that you have autonomy as a creative. And it's not easy to get that autonomy if you stick within the same system of the record companies, of hiding behind people who manage you, of just going, making music, putting the music out, going on tour. That model is not one that I personally feel gives me the most amount of autonomy. I want to be in a position where I take the soapbox and I can stand on it when I want. I want to be able to express myself and communicate with people in a very large way, so that when I want to go and do something that's extremely, much more precise and artistic and let's say even highbrow, that I can do it, and that no one's telling me that I can't.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that there's certain artists that do work like that, and also I think that the music benefits from that, because you write music also to bring it to life. And I think that maybe you're going to understand that a little bit more in the next year and a half, next year to 2 years. This idea that that it's not just about going into a room, writing songs, putting them out, hiding for 2 years, and then doing it all over again. That there are other benefits when you are an autonomous artist. And yeah, I think it brings other opportunities, and you're going to see some of the fruits of that over the next few years. I can't say more than that.
That's cool. Yeah, no, it's very cool. Well,
And it's a journey. I mean, I think even as a performer on stage, I've changed. I've definitely, I have an energy that is more weirdly, like, my energy now is almost more dangerous when I'm on stage. I surprise myself with some of the kind of like the determination, or the kind of the ownership of musical and physical gestures on stage, which is funny because you think it'd be, as you get older, it would be the opposite, but it's not what's happened. I feel much more in ownership of what I'm singing, what I'm saying, how I hold myself, and really not worried about the consequences even more, which makes
that's
the shows more, vibrant. It doesn't matter whether I'm standing in the same place in the Philharmonic show, being carried by 120 musicians, where I can't make a single mistake because it would be like falling on my face, or whether I'm, at Brooklyn Steel or in the mountains in minus 10 degrees. It's just this kind of, this fuck you energy, which is really important to hold on to.
No, I agree. That's good, and I think we feel it. I think it's apparent to us as we're sitting there. We're feeling it, and I think we feed off of that as well. So
that's good to hear. I hope it enables the shows not to be repetitive, because
Absolutely.
That can always happen, you know?
Yeah. No, I never get the feeling of complacency, either coming from you or even coming from the audience. I don't feel like anybody is complacent in this equation. You sort of make us um, more actively involved because of how you're more actively involved. It's
Well, that,
very it's an interesting
I think it goes both ways.
dynamic. Yeah, it is.
I think it goes both ways. But I don't see individuals in a crowd. I see
Mm-hmm.
a body.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that when really everyone forgets themselves and they really form a body, that's when you know it's working. That's when you know,
Mm-hmm.
ooh, this has become plastic. This has
Mm-hmm.
become something you can sculpt.
Mm-hmm.
It's become an entity, and it's not always given. Sometimes you
Yeah.
have
Ah,
to.
well, it's great. I mean, very, very excited about the new music and about the tour. And, hopefully
It's not
everything's
the
going
new
to.
music's not finished yet, huh? There's a lot, and there's a lot of songs to write because of the way I've structured the projects.
Ah,
So yeah, so there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of songs written, but there's more to write. So we're still going.
wow.
Hmm.
Wow. Can you tell us anything about the tour at all, or is it too soon?
It's too soon. The idea of the rite of spring is something that I've played with for a while now in a kind of this idea of poetic resistance to what we've all been living. So even when I did the poster art project where with my sister Paloma we commissioned artwork that was displayed over all these empty uh, advertising panels all around Paris. We basically, because they were original commissions, and I did one with Yasmin that was called For the Rite of Spring.
Mm-hmm.
Because they were original commissions, and because in the end we covered so many different billboards, we basically turned the billboards of Paris into the largest ephemeral art gallery that's ever been achieved anywhere.
Right.
And that to me was a kind of poetic resistance. And that's why our artwork, the drawing that I did, me when I was in Athens in confinement there, and my sister over here in Miami, it was like we did it at distance. And the idea of the rite of spring is like, it is a rite, but it's also a rite, R-I-T-E. It's not just an
Right.
R-I-G-H-T. And so that felt appropriate for this tour as well. This idea that the rite being a kind of almost euphoric ceremony
Mm-hmm.
that brings you to a higher place. This idea of losing yourself into something is something that I really want to provoke. You can do it with nothing. Some of these venues that we're going to are very simple. We're not going to bring anything, but we're still going to bring that energy. And I can only
Mm-hmm.
do it if you do it too. Obviously, then you get to the Bell Center, which is much bigger light show, but it still stays very, very much connected to this idea that spring is a raising of the spirits and a kind of perpetual yearly rebirth,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what you know these shows after so much time where we haven't been able to do normal shows, hopefully we'll be able to capture. I think anything that's too superficial or too decorative in this
Mm.
moment wouldn't be appropriate.
Interesting. Yeah. Hmm. Wow. Well,
Yeah.
I'm anxious to see. I can't wait. It's April is too far away. but,
Oh, and enough for me.
but
No,
it'll go
no,
fast. I know.
yeah,
I know it'll
I'm
go
happy that,
fast.
yeah. Here, I'll
Wow.
show you. So the scariest Santa on this thing is definitely I. So they're all drunk, basically, right?
Ah.
He's definitely terrifying. He's
Ah.
definitely had one too many sausage rolls. Troppe salsicce per questo vecchio. And then over here, you have this one. He, see, that one ate too much. This one, I don't know. This one just looks like, I don't know. He's
He's kind of got like I'm watching you kind of vibes, like a.
Yeah, but I'm watching you, but I'm not going to kill you. I'm just going to watch you, which is equally disturbing. And if you look at the hand, it's like terrifying. And you go over here, wait, there's one really funny one. There's a really sinister looking nutcracker. 1 second. Yeah, look at it.
Ah, that's straight out of
And
the ballet.
yeah, exactly. And then
Hmm.
over here, you've got this very demonic child inside a bubble, which
Oh
is
my,
super strange. You know, who thinks of this
it's
stuff?
kind of wrong.
This is awesome. This reminds me of that giant fat worm that's in A Bug's Life that one day
Yes.
eventually becomes.
Uh-oh. He
And
becomes a bug.
yeah, exactly. Here you've got Victor Victoria. And yeah, there you go. I think I've done the rounds. Yeah.
Well,
So,
I appreciate seeing it all up close.
well, it's a pleasure.
There, you were
It's a pleasure.
yeah, no,
And
you were freezing a little bit there for me. So
okay.
you're back. You're back. It's good.
I'm back.
Yeah.
I'm
So,
back.
well, thank you so much. I appreciate
Thank
the
you.
insight, and you really made our celebration really a good one. I'm saying that
Well,
because I'm looking at the time and I'm seeing we're running out. Instagram is gonna give me the hook
okay.
and pull us away.
Well,
But
I just want to say thank you to every single one of you. Thank you for following me and all my crazy adventures across so many countries. Everything from the subtitling, when I do a show, quando io faccio qualcosa in italiano, quand je fais quelque chose en français, les sous-titres, i sottotitoli, everything from also the community that's been formed. Quando voi fate un giro, un viaggio per andare a vedere un altro concerto in un altro paese, soprattutto in questo momento, these times are so difficult to move around, and I've been seeing how the MFC community helps each other in terms of getting around, understanding the rules, even sometimes with places to stay, and often, and the friendships that have been born between all of you. And I think this idea that you help understand what I make to people who are not necessarily the core members of MFC, but who want to kind of understand what it is that I do, and you help make that easier. So thank you for all the effort to all of you, those who are very active and vocal, and those who are much more discreet, but follow with as much attention. And thank you to you, Deb, as well, for being our captain. I'm
well,
the crazy one, and you're definitely the more reliable one.
well, I don't know about that, but thank you. But it's been a pleasure. It's like I said, without this, what would I have done for the last 2 years? It would have been awful.
Well,
So
no, that's not
it
true. I
got me
think
through.
you would have done a lot, but I think you did a lot for everyone else. So
Ah,
thank you very much.
oh,
Merci, grazie mille per tutto. Ci vediamo fra poco con tantissime nuove avventure. Salut à tout le monde. Gracias. Thank you.
thank you.
Bye,
Thank you
merci.
very much. Okay.
Speak soon.
Well, bye bye.
Bye.